Okay, so we've got some ideas coming through here. Some people say that, actually, I think most people say that 33 is A, and that is correct. Okay, so she was worried. So when you listen to this, by the way, or before you listen to this, it's always good to underline names as keywords. So you're listening out for that name, Marisol. Okay, and as soon as you hear that, you think ahead. You think, okay, I'm going to get the answer soon. Actually, in this case, the answer came a little bit later on. And yes, she was worried about the health of any children she might give birth to. B was a little bit of a distractor because she did give blood, but she didn't want to know whether it was safe for her to donate blood in the future. So yes, I think most people got A right. Sorry, 33 right. So 33 is A.
Yeah, Fiona, that's what we're getting on YouTube as well. Song Son said 33A, Rincy said A, DXA Canal said A, Neithu said A. Few people said C for the first one.
Okay. So yeah, she thought she had symptoms associated with the disease. I don't think she said that. We'll look at that in a minute. I just don't want to keep flitting between screens. Okay, and number 34, we had a few different ideas. 34, the correct answer is actually, who got that right? Rahele got that right. She said C. This was quite a difficult one, actually, so we will look at this in a bit more detail. So the problem with Jennifer, okay, A was an unwillingness to accept that she was ill. Not sure if people put A. There was a distractor in there. I'll show it to you in a minute. An inability to tolerate the prescribed medicine. Some people said that. The correct answer is a delay between the initial infection and treatment. I think he actually said 10 weeks had passed since she had been initially infected. But let's have a quick look. Okay, so here we've got, well, let's first of all, well, we've still got Jennifer in our minds. This was question 34. Okay, so another patient, I'll call her Jennifer, felt unwell following a vacation in a region where Chagas is endemic. Tests indicated she was Chagas positive. She then had to do further tests. She looked it up online. She was understandably distressed. And she said, why me? But that's a distractor. Her saying, why me, doesn't mean that she was unable to accept that she was ill, which was A. And what was the answer that some people, a delay? So the correct answer is C, a delay. Okay, so for optimum impact, it should be taken. So we're talking about the drug, okay? Should be taken in the first 2 months of the disease. But by the time the testing had been completed, 10 weeks had passed since the likely date of the bite. Okay, and then it says Jennifer took this drug and didn't react badly to it. So that's, I think some people put an inability to tolerate the prescribed medicine. So she wasn't actually unable to tolerate it. So C was the correct answer. Okay, should be taken within the first 2 months, but 10 weeks had passed. So a delay between the initial infection and treatment was the correct answer. Okay, I've just got a question through here on the chat box from Rahele. So Rahele says, my main problem is that all questions are multiple choice and all the time we should be reading and listening at the same time. And most of the time the answers are tricky. It's like IELTS, very similar to IELTS. Yeah, okay, Rahele, sounding a little bit frustrated there. Okay, so it does have some similarities to IELTS, and yes, it's challenging to read and listen at the same time. That's why you have to make the most of that minute or 90 seconds actually before you know, and underline the key words before you listen, so you'll really know what to listen out for. And you know, Rahele, practice makes perfect. So the more you listen, And the more you do these kinds of practice tests, the better. Okay, but I do agree with you. It's challenging. It's challenging, but challenges are good. Okay, so if anyone else has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can. We were going to look back at Marisol. Sorry, I'm flicking between screens here, which is why. Okay, there's a bit of pausing going on. Okay, so Marisol. She was worried about the health of any children she might give birth to, and the correct answer, that was the correct answer. And okay, let's call her Marisol. Asked me if she could be tested for Chagas. Okay, so what prompted Marisol to come to my clinic? She and her partner wanted to start a family, and she was scared that she might pass the parasite on. So that's the correct answer. She was worried about the health of any children she might give birth to.